Hi, my name is Natalia and I'm coming to you from Denmark, and this is my knitting podcast. I'm trying to keep up with my weekly schedule, so I'm trying to record this week, but I cannot promise if I will make a video next week as we are going for vacation. So I have no clue how much time I will have for knitting, how much time we'll have for recording, and how will be internet there where we'll be staying. So have no clue if I will have chance for recording next week, but if no, then 2 weeks. I will start with what I'm wearing today, and then we'll go to my finished objects and work in progress. So I'm wearing sweater that I constructed myself last year, and I reknit that twice because I tried this technique when it's not really raglan, but I don't know how you really call this, because it's have like here it's have a line when you increasing on this line, and then you start increasing for the sleeves. So I like all about this sweater. I like fit. First time when I was making this, I didn't make here increases right, so it was sitting wrong, but here it's now it's sit nice. And there's just one problem with this sweater: I don't like yarn. First, when I started to knit with this, I thought that it's soft and quite nice. It's just sock yarn. It's have a superwash merino and nylon, 75-25, but for some reason there's different superwash merino and nylon, and for some reason this one isn't that soft like some another. It's soft, but it's not a sweater what I will wish to have on me all the time. So probably I will be making this sweater again, but this time in another yarn. I didn't choose yarn yet, didn't know anything yet, so I use helical knitting for this yarn because I had this 50 skins of sock yarn, and I wanted to alternate this as much to make I don't know, as much saddle stripes as I can. There's bigger stripes on the sleeves, as you see, because it's smaller circumstances, but yeah. So it's have like big turtleneck, then this increases going just on the shoulders and then going to the hands, yeah. And then here on the side is have now good you can see this. It has this detail when you purl one stitch, so it's have like I don't know, look like it's sewn, and it has split hem. Yes, so that was all about what I'm wearing, and now about finished object. So last time I was showing you that I was knitting 2 projects, like baby knits, a hat and onesies. I finished them, but I already sent them, so I cannot show you them, but I will put the pictures. So for the hat, I used the pattern Pixie hat. There's links to my projects down below, and like designer name, pattern name, all down below. And there's links also to my Ravelry pages. If you cannot use Ravelry, you can just copy designer name and a name of design and Google it, and maybe some other information will come. And there is my project page, so you can look if I made some modification or which yarn I use. So I use Pixie hat. I don't remember by who it's designed, but it's available free on Ravelry. I use basically numbers out of that. I avoid the pattern call to make rib first when you starting. I avoid making rib, just making stockinette stitch. And then I technically was making short rows more often to achieve longer hat. To knit this hat, you make you knit flat, and then it's a moment you start working short rows. So in the back, it's constructed that it have a longer top. I don't know You can see this on a picture. So yeah, and I added pom-pom because the woman who I was knitting this for wanted pom-pom, so I bought the pom-pom with the knop that you can sew it on, and then when you wash it you can take it out. I don't think it's really needed for that hat because it was needed will be used for photo sessions, but it just had what was available. Yes, and for Onesies I cannot tell like almost any information how I knit it because I just figured out my gauge, look couple of different designs. I find one design what I knit before, it was for yoke Onesies and it was knitted bottom up, so I technically took just measurements from there, like how long you need to make legs, sleeves and all these things, and based on previous Onesie what I was needed, cast on the same amount of stitches and just was working from that. Technically it's not that hard, so it's quite easy. If you would like that to knit that Onesie and cannot figure it out, you always can contact me and I will try to help as I can. So that was just my one and only finished object for today. For some reason I have like multiple projects and I want to work on all of them, and then I need to split up time between all them and then none getting done. I have one half finished object. Last time I was showing you that I was working on test knit for winter weather knits and it was Mosaic socks. So now I completed one of socks. There's my heel. Yeah, I will try to put this on a sock blocker and insert a picture to show it better. But yeah, technically it have this nice pattern with the Christmas tree. Yes, and it's constructed top down. Yes, so one is done. My yarn look like that, that's why I'm getting this like gradient. That's my yarn, so it's have, I don't know, slightly like yellowish green color, and then it's going to tail, bluish, then purple, and it's pinkish purple, and then way back. So that's one done, and I need to make one more. Yeah, it's kind of like fun, but it's also kind of like long to knit, at least for me, because I'm not that familiar with mosaic knitting. I knit already a couple of projects with that, but it takes time because you technically work in each row twice. But it's nice because it's look like color work, but you technically working just with one color at a time in a row, so you just slip in stitches from another color and then knitting or purling stitches in that color what you have in hands. So yes, again, this is my 2 yarns, 1 sock, and this is a project bag what I actually got last year in a yarn swap, and my swap partner make me a bag. It's really nice. Here it's have like berries, and inside it's have really Christmassy, even more Christmassy fabric. Here's like this Christmas tree, some dolls. Oh, there's even a ship. Yes, it's really nice. So I thought it really nice, will be going nicely with this sock, because they also like wintry theme. So yeah, my half finished object. Then I have 3 more work in progress. And from all them you saw just one previously, so I will start with that one. Last week I didn't show my another test knit. This time it's for Max the knitter. It will be a field shawl. It's not a project bag, it's kind of like army bag, but there can be a lot of yarn in this, and it's really easy to store project there, so I'm using this like a project bag. So the pattern is called Field Shawl, and it will be coming up somewhere in November. I don't know exactly when, but I believe that we need to finish this until 8th of November, if I remember right. So I finally finished the half of the shawl. It's not hard shawl, it's really easy to knit. It's basically a shawl in garter stitch. You're using one, like for half of your shawl you're using one color as your main color, and then periodically you put in this your another color, like a contrasting color. And now I've finished this part, and you start with this smaller point and you increasing, and from this part I will be using this gray color as my main color, and pink will be my contrasting color, and I will be decreasing from this point. I didn't make a lot, I just like started it, but from now on shawl will go smaller. I will knit in gray color, and contrasting color will be gray, pink. And I'm using these two yarns. I like this yarn, they're quite soft. I need sweater out of that, not out of that, of yarn like that before. It's Reloaded Merino from Garn Wool Silk. It's Portway yarn, I believe, because it has 300 meter per 100 gram. I believe that pattern is called for DKY yarn, but you can easily get gauge with this yarn. And because it's recycled yarn, so it's have like merino wool and other fibers. So here, especially on this gray color, you can see, I don't know how good you can see, but you can see the nips of different colors like blue and red and another one. On the pink one, it's not that much. You can see some pinkish, reddish and white nips, but not that much as in gray. But I think they go nicely together. That's all pink yarn what I have back. I hope it will be enough to make a stripes. And I started this ball and have one more ball for second part. Technically, I believe the shawl called for 200 gram balls of each color, so 2 colors, 200 gram of each color. Yes, I think it's really easy project, so that's definitely going with me for vacation. It can be great card knitting because it just garter stitch, and there will be this time decreases in every 4 row. So I hope I will remember this. So yeah, my first work in progress. My second work in progress, it's Stephen West new design, new MKAL Shawlography. So if you are making it, if you're knitting this and you didn't make your first clue yet, then look away and come back maybe in a minute, and I will show my project. So I completed my shawl like a day ago. It was really fun, and it's look like that. Mine look like that. Yeah, don't know how good you can see this. Yeah, I think it's nice like that. So I pick up this blue yarn as my color A and start with this. Then I pick up this almost black yarn like my color B, and it's have like a lot of this color B here in this second section. Or it's technically the first section. No, I believe it's second section. And here in the second section you can see all another colors are playing around. They are taking like a background color in this section. I think when I will block it you can see this colors better, but because now it aren't blocked yet, so they're kind of like together and you see more black. That is section 3. You have this interesting slip stitches effect, and this is section 4 when you have these I-cord loops. Was also really interesting and something what I never tried before. So far it wasn't really hard. It's something you just trust, as Stephen says. But I find this MKAL this year really nice because he technically making video, and he thought that will be a regular video for each of clue. He making like first video was like an hour when he technically taken you through all steps and through all techniques was used there. So it's really nice. That's my yarn colors. I don't know how good you can see this. Out of this, there's a post on my Instagram about my shawl. Yes, if you look away, you can come back. I'm not showing my shawl anymore. And yeah, now I have one more work in progress. And then just dream knitting. So after I finish my Elton cardigan by Locatelli for her Fall Call, I had one more project what I signed for, and I decided if I will start this now, it's technically also can be my I don't know, road trip project. So I cast on Understated by Locatelli. I will try to insert picture how it should look. It's a boxy sweater with v-neck, but that one is not v-neck boxy. It have different construction on the shoulders. Technically maybe same, but it have like ribbon here on the shoulder. And technically the pattern is called for DK weight yarn, but because I don't like sweaters would have that much positive ease, because I'm not that tall person, so really boxy sweater make me look really strange, like I borrow clothes from someone or something like that. So I based my size based on that size what I was amount of stitches what I was knitting for Elton cardigan. So I'm making size number 3. Yes, and I'm making this, I'm telling this because I'm making this from fingering weight yarn when the pattern is called for DK weight yarn. So technically I just the sweater is knitted top down, so technically I just I connect parts from underarms, but I didn't connect this in around yet, and I really hope to make it today. Technically I still have, I don't know how to show you that right. I still have 16 rows to do. Oh, it's so something's wrong, yes, it's wrong side of sweater, of course. So I'm using reloaded merino as I showed before. It's light fingering weight yarn, and it's not completely black, it's like dark gray anthracite color. It has some nips of this gray, and as I tell before, the construction is like drop shoulders, and it have rib here in some part, and then I already went to stockinette stitch part, but I'm still increasing for v-neck, for constructing v-neck, and at this point I still have, I believe, 16 rows to increase, and then I can connect all this on one needles and just knit it down as much as is needed, and then at some point I will need to pick up for sleeves and then for neck. Yes, really like this. So technically I put like time, 2 days working this. I wasn't working just on this, but I was primarily working on this. And one day I make the back part, and another day I make like one shoulder and was working one front part, and another was working on another front part. I have this yarn because I frocked another sweater, and I am just trying to use it because I really like it and don't see a reason why to don't use that again. It's soft. I already bought it. I want this sweater. I want this in this yarn, so all work out. I had a problem with my tension in this sweater. I spotted this problem when I was knitting Elton cardigan. It's also from this yarn, and I spotted that I had this like roving size, like when you can see that like lines in your knitting, and I read that that's because you have different tension in your knitted and purl stitches. So I looked through different recommendations, like try to knit when you purl and try to knit tighter. And another recommendation was to switch a needle while you're knitting purl side. So technically that's what I'm trying now, and it's look like it's working out, but I still have like 16 rows to work like this, and then I can just connect this and work just on one side of needle. So I'm knitting this sweater on 3.5 millimeters needles. I don't know if you can see side. No, it's 3.5 millimeter needles. And then when I'm going to purling, I'm using 3 millimeters, and it's cubic needles, but I like them. I have just this side in a cubic. Maybe some days I should think to buy more of them. So yes, knit size on a 3.5, purl size on 3 millimeters, and it look like it's helping me with my problem, so I will continue to use that. Yes, now about my dream knitting. So there was one Stephen West knit along, but I didn't participate before, because technically I participated first time last year, and before I wasn't participating in this. So 1 year knit along was called Starflake, and I really like this. Even when people already was knitting and showing this, I knew that I want to knit it, but for some reason I didn't join at that time. I don't know why, but I really want that shawl. So I think after I will finish this knit along, I will start that shawl. It's in my queue for a really long time, and once I win giveaway from Aquila, a lefty knitter, and she was giving away the pattern of your choice. So I asked about this pattern. So technically I have a pattern, I want to knit it, it's my clue. I even picked up previously a yarn for this. I got 2 skeins of this gray variegated yarn. It's look like hand dyed, but it's manufactured hand dyed, because it's from My Flower. It's really popular brand here in Scandinavia. You can find this in many shops. So it's Luxus Socks yarn, hand dyed, and it's have 396 meter per 100 gram. Pure wool, super wash, and polyamide, but it's really soft. It feels like merino. So I knew that I want, the pattern is called for 4 skeins of finger and weight yarn, 2 colors. So I knew that I wanted to use this color, and then I wanted some like rusty color to that. And I couldn't find anything before. And then last time I was in the shop, and they had this yarn, so I thought they go in nicely together. I don't know how good you can see. So technically it's like brownish rustic yarn. It's have this different browns, like I don't know, dark brown, warm brown, and it's have like different speckles, and it's same base and same brand of yarn. So that will be my cast on sometime when I have time. Yes. First I should finish that. I have 2 shawls on my needles. I should finish them before casting new, but that's my dream knitting. One more dream knitting, it's the socks. now it's October and the Halloween week, months, I don't know, day is soon. So I had this yarn in my stash. It's actually also from my flower. So this is sock yarn. And I thought that this is quite Halloween colors. It's have this like orangey, and then purple, brownish. For me, it's quite Halloween colors, and I have 2 balls of them, so I technically can make socks from 1 ball of yarn if I don't do really high, but technically I can make socks. And my daughter told that she liked the colors, so I was planning to make socks for her, but no clue when. That's not that much time to the end of month, and Halloween is an end of month. So technically I have 2 weeks, but I have so much other knitting. But that's my dream knitting. I have needles for this. I have this yarn. Maybe I will also take it with me, and if I will have time, I will be working on that. Yes, that was all for knitting from me. We have autumn break here in Denmark. So from today is last school day for the kids. I had my last school day yesterday, so technically today I can relax a little, but we don't have really time for relaxing because tomorrow early morning we are leaving for vacation. And yeah, so I should technically pack things now. We are going to visit Prague. It's in Czech Republic or Czechia. I don't know how it's the official name now. But yeah, we are going there by car because all this restriction with airplanes and other things, it's quite complicated. It just my husband and my son is coming, and the biggest challenge is my son, because I and my husband, we are vaccinated, so there's not really problems. But my son is 7, he cannot be vaccinated, and there's all this test and another thing. So we decide that we will go by car. It's quite far. It's like almost 1,000 kilometers from us, but my husband likes to drive. So we're gonna go there, and probably from there we are planning another stop. So we're planning to stay a couple of days in Prague and then go to another countries, but we will see how all that will go. Yes, that was all for me for today. I hope you're all well. There's all links to what I was talking about down below, and all my another social media links, all my another social videos linked there, so you can, there's a place where you can find me. Yes, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Have a nice time. Bye.